Alright, hello everyone, it is silverkyle, and today I'm going to be talking about Summer Game Fest, which is what is going to be replacing E3 this year due to its cancellation, and I am so excited for this. This is great news for gamers. When I first heard that E3 was going to be canceled, I was so distraught. I was so sad. Like, I completely understood, but E3 is always the thing that I am looking forward to the most every year. That is my Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl for gamers, definitely. I know that we have the awards at the end of the year, but I feel that looking towards the future is so much more exciting because you have no idea what's in store. Most of the time, I mean, sometimes we do get leaks and things like that, but for the most part, you're seeing all these crazy games that are coming out, and you just get so excited. So for me, E3 is always big. I've actually taken weeks off of, like, I've taken vacation from work at some points because I was so hyped up and excited for E3. But over the last few years, actually, I find that E3 has slowly been in the decline. Nintendo doesn't even have their own conferences anymore. They just do Nintendo Directs. Like, there's a lot of things that are affecting it. I think PlayStation was actually pulling out of E3 before they had even canceled it. So that, that would have been a major blow to E3 on their own. But either way, now we're getting Summer Game Fest, which is going to be hosted and kind of put together by a guy named Geoff Keighley. I have no idea if I'm actually pronouncing his last name correctly. I hope I got it right. But he's the one that organized all of this. And what it's going to be is from May to August, so we're actually getting 4 months of this instead of just 1 week, of a bunch of different developers coming together and having their own kind of mini conferences throughout these next few months in the summer. And I think that this is a great idea. Not only do you not get all of them boom, boom, boom in 1 week and then you kind of miss out on things. I mean, there's positives and negatives to both. Like, when you have them all in 1 week, it's just such an exciting week. Like, it's just high adrenaline all the time. But now we're always going to constantly have something to look forward to in the future, and we won't miss as many things because we're able to just focus on specifically what one company is going to be talking about. And I kind of like that. And the other nice thing is, and I'll get into what's actually in phase 1 of the lineup. We don't have phase 2 or how many phases this will actually be. But Geoff was actually able to get PlayStation to come back on board. So E3, they were not going to have anything to do with it, and now they're actually going to be part of this Summer Game Fest. So I'm really excited. We'll probably get the PlayStation 5 big reveal, like talking about specs and things like that. Hopefully some games. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And they're actually kicking this off, I think, this week on the I think it's the 7th, that we're getting Microsoft's big reveal for the Xbox or Series X, whatever the next Xbox is. We're getting that big reveal. So I am looking forward to that. I definitely hope that we see more than just, how powerful the thing is. I hope that we see some games and they talk about specific games that we have no idea that were even in the works. Even if they're not necessarily going to be there at launch, I just want to know what Xbox is going to be coming with, because I'm actually strongly considering going multi-plat on PS5 this time around. I've been an Xbox guy since the original Xbox. As soon as the first Xbox was out, I was hooked on Halo. So I started getting most of my multi-platforms on the original Xbox. Xbox 360, I followed suit because I really liked their controller by that point. And because of that love with the controller, I ended up still staying with the Xbox One instead of going with the PS4 route. I bought the PS4 first, and I was like, yeah, I'm not 100% certain on this. And then there was Titanfall and Plants vs. Zombies, of all things, like Garden Warfare. So those two games are what made me go, you know what, I want the Xbox One, and I ended up getting it later on that summer, the year after that it had actually come out. But this time around, I'm strongly considering going with the PlayStation 5 first, and then down the road getting the next Xbox. That's what they should call it, Nextbox. I don't know. They have such stupid names anyway. Might as well call it something stupid like that. So what they have for the first lineup is 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco. Really looking forward to what they're going to be bringing. Bethesda. I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope they talk about the Elder Scrolls 6. I've heard rumors. There's been rumors going around that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be coming out in 2024, in 4 years from now. And that's too long. I mean, that is 13 years since Skyrim. That is insane. That's way too long for such an amazing, fantastic series. They should have one every console generation. So we should have had, I really feel, Elder Scrolls 6 in the Xbox One and PS4 era. And then they should be working on Elder Scrolls 7 for 2024. That's how I feel. Blizzard's going to be there. Kind of interested to see if maybe they have a release date for Diablo 4, maybe. Bungie is coming with whatever they're working on. Destiny 3, I don't know what they're working on. CD Projekt Red, we'll get more from Cyberpunk. Extremes, I don't know what that is. EA, don't care about them. PlayStation, definitely want to see what they're bringing. Hopefully we get a few more announcements for games. Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, definitely looking forward to them. They've been nailing it out of the park with a lot of the games that they've been releasing in the last few years, I find. With the Tomb Raider games, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, they're just... Kingdom Hearts 3, I haven't played it myself, but I mean, they're really nailing out some big games here, and their games look gorgeous too. They've done a phenomenal job. I am very much looking forward to Marvel's Avengers from them. The multiplayer aspect, I think, and also the fact that they're going to be constantly releasing more content for it. So you kind of have your initial group of superheroes, like the main ones, and then they're slowly going to start branching off and introducing more characters. I really like that idea, and that appeals to me a lot. And as far as I know, I think it's going to be also free content that they're constantly pushing out, so you always kind of have something to play. And I really like... I wanted this idea of a up to date third person game of Marvel superheroes that's actually good. Like, for the most part, it's only Batman and Spider-Man that have really done a really good job where we've gotten good games out of them. But I wanted all these superheroes all together, and then adding the multiplayer aspect so that you have all your friends. Like, you'll have your friends that's Hulk and Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, and that's so much fun. I cannot wait for this. I really hope that it's not going to be mediocre. I think even if it is mediocre, that I'm still going to like it just because of everything that they're presenting. I'll still be like, yeah, it's a mediocre game for the most part, but man, just being able to play as my favorite characters and having my friends with me is going to be so much fun. So I can't wait for that. What else? Steam is going to be there, Warner Bros. And Xbox. So we've got quite a bit here. And this is just phase one. So we might see maybe smaller developers and then indie developers. I probably won't care so much about the indie developers. I'll still probably take a peek. But for the most part, most indie games I'm rarely ever excited for. What happens with me for indie games, and I know that this is totally not really about Summer Game Fest, but indie games I only get interested in once I hear reviews and I start hearing, okay, these are the top indie games. People are freaking out about them, and then I'll kind of take a look at them and be like, okay, is that actually worth buying? Because for the most part, I don't like them. The other thing too is that they're rarely ever physical, but then if they become popular enough, they actually do get physical releases. So then I'm like, oh, well, even though you're an indie game, you got enough that it was a physical copy. I'm so strange. I know. Don't mind me. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Starting it off with Xbox this week. I don't know what else is coming out. Afterwards, I don't think that they have an actual schedule yet for when all of this stuff is going to be coming. As far as I was reading, Xbox was the only one, but then we're slowly going to keep getting more things. We'll be hosting our summer festivities with a virtual show in June. Get ready for the future of game shows, or future game show. I don't know. I think that the only one that we know of really is Xbox, and then we're slowly going to get more things coming out. I'm looking forward to this, definitely. Like, the main ones that I'm looking forward to obviously are, hey, we don't have Nintendo there. Nintendo better be joining either in phase 1 or phase 2 at some point. They have to include Nintendo, or Nintendo at least has to have a Nintendo Direct. I don't know why they wouldn't want to partner up with Geoff if everybody else is kind of I keep saying Geoff because I don't want to say his last name. Keighley, I think that seems to make sense to me. I don't want to attempt pronouncing it a different way. But I don't know why they wouldn't want to partner up with this since everybody else is there. Like, PlayStation, Xbox are there. Nintendo should be there. Even if it's just going to be a Direct, just acknowledge this is Summer Game Fest and then go on with the rest of the Direct. I think that would be the easiest way to go. But yeah, the ones I'm looking forward to the most are Bandai Namco, Bethesda, PlayStation, Square Enix, and Xbox. I mean, I am definitely looking forward to, and that's not in order, that's just the order that they have them here. So, probably the one I'm looking forward to the most would maybe be Square, to see if we get anything new from them. Obviously, also because of Marvel's Avengers. And I feel because of the hype of Final Fantasy VII Remake, they might throw in something in there that could be kind of interesting. So definitely Square Enix, PlayStation. I'm curious to see what they're going to be talking about. And then, yeah, Bethesda, I mean, Bethesda would be up there if Elder Scrolls 6. If they talk about Elder Scrolls 6 and they show some gameplay, I would that's it. Summer Game Fest is Bethesda essentially for me. But Nintendo, yeah, definitely Nintendo has to have something, or at least they don't necessarily even have to be part of this. I think they should, but I would like for Nintendo to have their own Nintendo Direct in June or around that time. It's been so long since we had a true Nintendo Direct. Like we had the mini Nintendo Direct a while back, and I thought that that was still kind of good. I mean, they kind of my expectations were a lot lower because they said it was a mini direct, and I liked it. But I want to see what they're working on. I want to see the big reveals of what's coming out this year, because we don't really have anything after Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition. There's not really any big games after that, and that kind of scares me. So there you have it, Summer Game Fest 2020. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited for this and which one you're most excited for in terms of the developers that are showing up. And you have all been bearded in. Thanks for watching. Beardage!